Well, if you're a dad, you'll never forget the day when the wife comes to you and said, "Guess what? I'm pregnant." Well, now we're learning it's okay for dad to shout out to the world, "Hey, I'm pregnant too, people." At least according to Harlan Cohen, his book, Dad's Pregnant Too, shares advice, tips, and stories about the joys ahead for the dad-to-be. Harlan is one of the nation's few syndicated male advice columnists. And Harlan, great to have you in this morning. Also the author of The Naked Roommate, right?
That's right, the best-selling book on college life, and I've become an expert dealing with life transitions. I say dad's pregnant as if the naked roommate got someone pregnant.
There's a lot of nudity in your work here, I think we're figuring out. But as a guy, that's to be expected, I suppose.
Hey, that's what guys like to pick up and read. But in Dad's Pregnant Too, what I did is interviewed hundreds of new moms, new dads, expectant parents, said to the guys, if you can go back in time, give yourself a tip, what would you tell you and what's the story? For women, I'd ask the same question, but I'd also say, when was your partner an accidental a-hole? Meaning, like, we have great intentions, but we make mistakes.
Yeah.
And the larger context, in the past 35 years, we've gone from waiting room to delivery room, and there are huge expectations, but there are so few resources for us. So we're set up to look bad, and now I can help.
And as a guy, you can't turn to your traditional people for advice. Like your father, he was never involved in this. He never went into the waiting room when guys of our age were born. So where do you turn?
Right,
so. And
even if he was, is he going to say, hey, hold the leg and count to 10 and push with her?
Here's the advice I give from my own experience. The stuff you learn in birthing class, most of that goes out the window. Feeding the ice chips and all that, get out of here. That's the type of response you're going to get. So you got to be careful with that. And sometimes you need to have one and then realize what does and doesn't work the next time.
And I think in order to be cool, we need to know the information, what to expect during this experience.
All right, you've got 5 things every expectant father must do. Must do.
It's essential. Getting involved before she asks you. Men don't know what their role is, given that there's been this huge shift. Go to these doctor's appointments. Even the ones that aren't important are the ones where you have dialogue. They'll talk about genetic testing. They'll talk about cord blood donation, or they'll talk about private banking. Cord blood, right now, there's research to see how stem cells in cord blood can be used for brain injury and diabetes. That's something that we need to discuss as fathers.
And it's very important in becoming, I don't want to say trendy, but a lot of people are doing it, and it's not trendy because it is an important thing.
And with that, there's so many educated people who don't know about it, and there's so many physicians that don't tell you about that.
All right, the other thing you say is create the birth plan as a team.
It is like the sport of giving birth, and the rules have really changed. You need to know what's happening before, during, and after.
You need to wear eye black.
Is that your strategy?
Well, you never know.
And booties.
Right.
And you need to know what's your role going to be, who's going to be in the delivery room, again, what happens with the cord blood, what happens when the baby goes home. These are things that you can discuss as a couple.
All right. The next item up for bid, so to speak, tell her she's hot and spoil her early and often. As I told you, we had one member of our staff told his pregnant wife she looked like a bus. Not the way you want to go.
That's the wrong strategy.
Yeah, okay.
You make her feel so hot before she spills out of her skinny pants, because then she'll just think you're lying, and you also need to spoil her. If you want to buy her maternity clothes, get her a gift card so you don't go 10 sizes too large, because that will turn you into an accidental a-hole.
And there's enough of that going around.
Right.
You can be wrong and right.
Guys are uncomfortable during this. We don't talk about it. 20% of guys experience postpartum depression, as an interesting side note. But we are uncomfortable, and we want to be right. But if you try to be right with a pregnant woman, you're wrong. So give her permission to be wrong, even if you know you're right.
Okay. And finally, become an educated father.
We need to know the rules are changing. You need to get the latest information, the most up-to-date information, do your own research, and know what your role is. dadspregnant.com takes fathers and women week by week through this. And I should mention, women are sharing stories in this about their partners. This book is for women as much as it's for men. 560 pages, 103 tips, medically reviewed, and dadspregnant.com can be a place to stop by for more.
And all kinds of information in there about what to do and what you can't do when she's pregnant, if you're in the mood and that type of thing.
Whole chapter on sex.
Yeah.
That's what got you into this, but no one talks about it once she's pregnant.
Or any time after the birth, too.
Is that what happened?
Well, anyway. Harlan, thanks a lot for coming in. We appreciate it. It's good books, a lot of fun, but some very important information in there as well. So
thank you so much.
Enjoy it.